Media at SAfm with Ashraf Gardner.
All right, so we talk advertising, we talk fun stuff as well, I can tell you, but we also talk about boring things sometimes. And many people say in the assurance or auditing industry, I mean, just how much is there to excite? I don't know. Let's find out about the Deloitte campaign. Two guests to talk us through all of that. Stuart Tudor-Owen, once of Telcom, right? But now Deloitte's head of brand. And Dale Haffer, who's the managing director at Chile Bush Communications. Dale and Stuart, good morning, both of you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ashraf.
All right, so let's start with you, Stuart. I mean, what is the brief to Chile Bush, to your agency?
Well, you set me up nicely there. I mean, you said Deloitte, most commonly known as an audit firm, perhaps. And, you know, we really are so much more than that. You know, I think audit and assurance is only half of our business, literally. Right. We offer a lot more in the way of consulting, of strategy, of technology, of implementation, a full range of things. So, you know, a much broader offering that we actually have. So the campaign was about trying to do exactly that, shift the perception of us away from being, you know, inverted commas, an audit company.
So you do agree that there is that perception, and it's a very narrow perception in terms of the services that you offer?
I think so. I mean, I think it probably differs across segments, but certainly, you know, our centre of gravity, if you like, has probably always been known as one of the big four, as they say, and an audit firm.
Okay,
but,
so you told Chile Bush to do what?
Well, we said to Chile Bush, we set them a fairly ambitious brief, as you always do, which was to, one, you know, just elevate and get the brand out there a bit more, which is always good, but specifically to shift this what I suppose you'd call the audit halo to be considered as much more than that. And in doing that, we also added on there, can you also just give a little bit of a push onto our service lines specifically? That
maybe
we
can
do
increase our bottom line as well. I mean,
Absolutely.
all of those things, right? Well, what did you understand by this, Dale?
We understood immediately that we needed to focus on the people. The people are something that are critical to offering to promoting the different service lines.
But now why? Because normally when you look at again, people in sort of financial services, that sort of dull, you know, white shirt, tie industry. It's all about the product and what they can do, and not about the people.
Well, exactly, and I think that's a myth we wanted to dispel. And we had a fantastic time. Our brief was to find candidates to feature in our ad campaign, and we put a brief out there to all the staff, 3,500 staff around the country, to find out interesting hobbies, unique pastimes they had, and we were gobsmacked at firstly the diversity of what the people did at Deloitte, and secondly just the extreme uniqueness of it. We found people the first woman in Africa, for example, to walk to the North Pole. We've got a Paralympic athlete. We've got someone who performed at the Beijing Olympics as a gymnast. We've got pilots. We have got the most extraordinary people. And what they do in their pastime enables them to do their job at Deloitte better.
So these are people working for Deloitte.
Absolutely.
Who are exceptional not by what they do at Deloitte, but exceptional outside of Deloitte.
Well, exactly. I mean, I suppose it was an intersection, if you like, of their personal passions, which, you know, the tagline, I think, you know, is unique people, inspired results. And the thinking was that rather than just be a faceless organization of suits, grey suits, as you say, actually real, interesting, driven people who have interesting lives outside of Deloitte, as well as bringing their interesting...
So whose idea was that, to use Deloitte's staff? Was it a Chile Bush thing?
We'd like to take full credit for it, but I think it was a combined team effort to come up with the people campaign.
Okay, I mean, I think just on that people thing again, that is, you can try and differentiate and say you differentiate on your tools and your processes and your technologies, but in reality, it's actually the softer stuff. It's the people, it's the relationships. That's where you make the difference.
Well, I tell you what, certainly I have, and I'm probably coming to Deloitte in a couple of weeks' time because of the Sports Industry Awards.
Yes.
Which obviously I'm one of the judges on, so we'll probably then trying to see if I can spot those people. And I mean, the point that you made, I'm looking at the names now: Tiru Pillay, the super biker, besides what he does, Billy Joubert, the pianist and composer, Zwelaki Gomedi, the marimba master, and I can go on. Odette Richard, the international rhythmic gymnast. I'm not going to go through all of it. Let me tell you, people, that you can certainly check it out on my Facebook page as well as on Twitter, all those pictures in terms of the print campaign that we're talking about. Just from your point of view, often when people use internal staff, sometimes there's a downer, so it actually doesn't really work. Were you convinced that was the way to go, and why so?
Look, I think the risk is always, have we got enough people, or have we got enough interesting people? And I think to Dale's earlier point, we certainly had an oversupply, if you like, and we've had to manage that carefully because once it's got going and people start to see it coming to life, people are even more keen to get involved. So you have the second wave. So no, we've been very, very pleased with the level of interaction. In fact, probably surpassed our expectations in terms of staff engagement, which is so important for the brand, in terms of them getting excited about it.
Okay, and now they're all sort of hoping they're going to get onto these pictures, because I take it, I mean, there's 9 or 10 in the initial stages, but there's going to be more, right, Adele?
Yes, well, we've currently got 14. We've broken it into 3 phases. The first phase is just to introduce the campaign. The second phase is to specifically go into the service lines and talk how the people's hobbies or their interests enables them to perform their service line role better. And then the next phase we're going into is industries. We're going to talk about how Deloitte has also got competency across the 9 major industries, and how their uniqueness in terms of their personal abilities enables to deliver on those industry skills.
Okay, we've got about 30 seconds to go. Let's just wrap up. Reaction so far?
Fantastic. I mean, delighted that a fairly niche, I suppose, brand that targets, chief executives and business people has been so widely received from the likes of yourself to other media, marketing commentators, mainstream media, press. It's been fantastic. So we're pretty chuffed. You're always constrained by budget and time on these things, but we're delighted with the reaction it's had internally and externally.
And from Chili Bush's point of view?
Yeah, we're very proud, Ashraf. We've got a long history with Deloitte, and we're delighted to be working with them again, and long may it last.
Indeed. Well, I certainly want to see the follow-ups on it. People, if you have any views on this, you certainly can SMS me 34701. It'll cost you £2. You can also tweet to me to Ashraf Garda 1. In fact, whether you think it's a hit or a miss, the ad campaigns, or post comments on my Facebook page. Many people I know have done it all throughout the week. Well, let's leave it at that. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Ashraf.
Thanks, Ashraf.
Owen, Deloitte's head of brand, and earlier for the managing director of Chili Bush Communications, for a terrific, I think, Deloitte campaign that's certainly going to get lots of talkability. Probably the way that we've seen some of the SAfm stuff as well, maybe sort of getting the dryness out of those particular industries. Indeed. Sibu Impungosi, we're going to talk to her in terms of where she goes next. We'll do that after the news at 10.